Hello, good day from wherever you're watching me. Good evening. My name is Choma Odikolo. Say hello, say hi. If you're here with us live, just say something so we'll know you're here. Okay, I'm very sorry for starting this webinar or our book review late. Yes, but we have to do what we have to do. No excuse. Yes, we have to do what we have to do. So thank you very much for joining me today. So if you're here with us, just say a word so we'll know you're here with us. Thank you very much, sir. I can see Mr. Chidi. Thank you, sir, for joining us. All right, so we'll move straight into our conversation of today. So today we'll be having our book review, and after which we'll have our webinar. So we'll be reviewing this book, Goals by Brian Tracy. So this is the book we'll be reviewing for this month, and we're going to review it all through the remaining weeks. Okay, we have 2 weeks of this month and the whole of January, because it's very important. Goals is something that we need to take seriously. We need to know how to set our goals. We need to know what to do, how we can go about it. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. How we can go about it and everything. So yes, so we're discussing about goals now. Okay, where do we start from? Okay, as an individual, as a parent, some of us might be thinking, oh, I don't know how to create my goals. Is it not too late? I've not had goals before. I'm a parent. Or do you think it's worth it to create my goals now? But the truth is that we can start to create our goals right from today. We can start to create our goals right from the very point we are aware, or we become aware that we need to create our goals. So it's not too late to create your goal. If you've not done one, it's not too late. You can start from today to create your goal for your life, for the next year, and every aspect of your life. So one thing we need to understand as parents, that the day our life will change. Oh, thank you for joining us. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Beatrice. Thank you for joining us. One thing we have to understand as parents, the day our life change is the day we take responsibility for ourselves. So the very first day we make up our minds to take responsibility for our choices, our actions, everything about us, that is the very first day our life will begin to change. And as I said earlier, anyone can create a goal. Are you a parent? Yes, you can create a goal. You can create a goal for your children. You can create a goal for anyone. There is no one that is too small to create a goal, and there is no one that is too big to create a goal. Any one of us can create a goal. So what is the process? How do we start to create our goals? One thing we have to understand as parents is that we have to create our own world. So as a parent, what do you want for yourself? What world do you envision? What world do you see for yourself? So you have to create your world. You have to come to this consciousness of what I want to achieve, what I want to see in my world. So that is where it starts from. It starts from the point of self-awareness. We being aware that we need to create our goals, and we envisioning, having this vision, having this belief and this mindset, or seeing far where we want to go. Now we have to understand as parents, our thoughts are creative. Our thoughts form and shape our world and everything that happens to us. So everything starts from the thoughts. Sometime last month we reviewed this book. I think the one by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. And everything we read about in that book, the author was trying to bring to our awareness the importance of our thought. And that is the same thing we're discussing about today. Our thought is creative. Our thoughts shape and form our world and everything that happens around us. So what thoughts do you have as a parent? What thoughts do you have for yourself next year, 5 years time to come, for your future? What thoughts do you have? Because the truth is that our thoughts will shape everything that happens around us. So if you look at what is happening around you, it's just a reflection of your thoughts. Your actions are just a reflection of your thoughts. The things you do on a daily basis are just a reflection on your thoughts. And it's wise for us not to leave everything to work that way. We need to plan. We need to plan for what will happen. We need to plan for our actions. We need to plan for every areas of our life that is important. That is why we're talking about goals. Now we become what we think most of the time. So as a parent, what are you thinking? Are you thinking about your goals? Are you thinking about your future? Are you thinking of what you want to achieve? Because the truth is that we become what we think most of the time. So, what fuels your thoughts? When you fill up your thoughts with positivity, when you fill up your thoughts with good things, when you fill up your thoughts with your goals, what you want to achieve, you find out that somehow, eventually, you begin to become that thing you fill up your thoughts with. Now, whatever you think about continuously emerges in your reality. So, what are you thinking about as a parent? Are you thinking about your goals? Are you thinking about your future? What vision do you have for yourself? What goals do you have for yourself? Where do you see yourself in years to come? Because it's very important we think about these things, because we become what we think. And we have to understand that as parents, it's very important for us to have clear goals, because clear goals is what will help us to, it's like a driving force. When you have this goal, is the goal that will make you to want to, the goal will guide your actions. Your goal will guide your decisions. Your goal will guide everything you have to do around you. So it's very important for us to have clear goals. It's important for us to have clear goals, not the vague goals, not goals like, okay, I want to, goals that you can't even, maybe you say, okay, I want to be successful. Being successful is good, but it's a vague goal. It's very important for us to clarify what we want to achieve as parents. Now, we must understand that by simply deciding exactly what we want, we will begin to move unerringly towards our goal. So when we decide on what we want as parents, we find out that we begin to move towards it. So we have to get to this point of deciding, what do I want for myself? What do I want to achieve for myself? Where do I see myself in years to come? We have to get to that point of sitting down, thinking, writing down where we see ourselves, in future, in years to come. Now, there are so many reasons why a good number of us don't set goals. Most of us are limited with so many things. So we're going to briefly talk about why a lot of people don't set goals. You find some people, they'll just wake up and they don't have plans. They don't have goals. They just do life or they just live life that way. So what are some of these reasons why people don't set goals? Number one, some people think that goals are not important. A lot of people think that it's not important to set goals. Why do I need to set goals? Let me just live my life the way it is. And it even stems from this consciousness of not even believing in ourselves that we are going to achieve our goals. So people just live their life that's the way they want to live it and just feel, oh, it's not really important, it's not necessary I set goal. But the truth is that even when you don't set goal, you are actually planning. When you fail to plan, as it said, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So it's better and it's wise to plan, so we don't plan to fail. Another reasons why people don't set goals is that most people don't know how to set goals. Most people don't know, okay, what do I need to do? Some people think goal setting is something very big. So that is one of the reasons why some of us don't set goals. So as I'm reading out the reasons why most of us don't set goals, just go through it and find yourself. Where can I find myself? Do I know how to set my goals? Do I think goals are important? Another reason why some people don't set goals is because of fear of failure. A good number of us are scared of failing. Most of us are scared. You'll be like, okay, if I set my goals, if I write down my goals, what if I don't achieve it? What if I put out my goals out there and at the end I don't achieve? People will laugh at me. People will say, oh, people will tease me. So most of us don't set goals because we are scared of failure. But I'm here to tell us today that it is okay to fail. It is perfectly okay to fail. Do you know when you fail, it just tells you that you're one step ahead to achieving that thing. When you fail, what do? You sit down. Instead of, thinking, I failed, how can I fail? Sit down, take action. Why did I fail? You move and you make efforts. You see the lapses where you made the mistakes. You pick up the lessons so you don't make that same mistake again. So most of us are scared of failure, and we need to come out of this mindset of failure being something bad. Failure is not bad. And as parents, it's very important for us to teach our children the beauty of failure, the benefit of failure, the grace of failure, the blessings that comes from failure. So most people don't set goals because they are scared of failure. Some people don't set goals because they are scared of rejection. Most people think, okay, when I set my goal and I don't achieve, people might reject me. People might say, okay, after everything she did, after everything she came out there to say, people might just not accept me for who I am anymore. So most people don't set goals. They just feel, okay, it's better for me to sit in my comfort zone. So that is one of the reasons why most people don't set goals. So as parents, we have to understand that we are learning in this platform. It's all about, getting knowledge, growing, working on ourselves, becoming better. So we've gotten to this point of realizing that it is important for us to set goals. We should not live our life that way, like that. We should not just wing it. We should not just do what we want to do, because the truth is that when we don't even plan, when you sit down and don't even set a goal, you are actually planning, but you're planning to fail. So it's better we sit down, learn these things. How do I need to set this goal? What do I need to do? And how do I begin to run and move with my goal? Now we have to understand that as parents, most successful people we see, a good number of us admire a lot of successful people, but most successful people will see, they set goals. And most successful people we see, they spend time discussing their goals. They spend time discussing what they want to do. But you find out that most people, a good number of people that a good number of people spend time, a lot of people, a high percentage of people spend time talking about what they don't want to do. So if you must be successful, if we must be successful, if we must achieve our goals, our dreams, our aspirations, we must spend time talking about what we want to do. So how often as a parent do you speak about what you want to achieve? Or do you spend most of your time talking about what you don't want to achieve? Do you spend most of your time discussing about things that are not even relevant to your goal? So we must get to this point of discussing, talking about our goals, because the more we talk about our goals, the more we implement these things, the more we begin to see ourselves working in that light. Now, we move over to chapter 2 of our book. Now, another thing we need to do as parents, we need to take charge of our life. Yes, it's our duty, it's our responsibility to take charge of our life. Don't leave your life in the hands of anyone. Don't leave your life in the hands of someone. It's our responsibility to take charge of our life, take charge of setting our goals, take charge of everything that concerns us. So the question I have for you, or for us as a parent, you're listening to me, even if you're catching a replay, are you in charge of your life? Have you gotten to this point of taking full responsibility for yourself, right from everything that has happened to you from childhood to adulthood? It is very important that we as adults, we as parents, take full charge of our lives. We take full charge, full responsibility of our lives. From the very first moment we accept that we are in charge of our life, it changes the game for us. It changes everything. It changes our whole situation. So most of us as parents spend most of our time complaining. Most of us spend most of our time checking what our parents did and what they did not do. Most of us spend most of our time, just complaining and giving excuses. Most of us say things like, I would have been successful if not because of this person. I would have done this course if not because of this person. I would have gone to school if not because of this person. We complain and complain and complain. We forget to take responsibility. The truth is that if we must be successful as parents, if we must grow, if we must achieve everything we want to achieve, if we must be a better versions of ourselves, we must get to this point of taking full responsibility of our life. It's our duty. It's not the duty of anyone. So we must take full responsibility of even setting our goals. Don't leave your goals in the hands of someone else. Don't leave your goals in the hands of another person. It's our responsibility. It's our duty to take care of ourselves. Now we have to understand as parents, what are those things we need to look out for? You know, moving forward in the new year, what are these things we need to look out for that can hinder us from achieving our goals, that can hinder us from being a better versions of ourselves? So what are those things? I refer to them as our worst enemies. What are those things we need to look out for? Number one of the enemies of success, one of the things we need to be aware of, that can hinder our success is negative emotions. Negative emotions of all kinds. Negative emotions hold us down. So as a parent, do you even understand the emotion you feel per time? Do you understand the emotions going through you per time? It's very important we understand the emotion we feel, because when we understand the emotion we feel, we can label and differentiate it. We can say, okay, right now I think I'm having a negative emotion. Right now I think I'm having a positive emotion. Because when you have a negative emotion, always and often, it has a way of hindering and stopping your success. Because negative emotions hold down success. It tires us out. It takes away our joy in life. So what are those emotions you're walking through in life? What are those negative emotions? You always find yourself, you're angry all the time, you're sad all the time, you're frustrated all the time. Nothing just pleases you. Do you find yourself in that space? It's very important for us to be aware of it, so we can work on how we can come out of that negative emotion. In fact, as a matter of fact, I think one of our goals as parents should be working on our emotions. One of our goals as parents is to cultivate more of positive emotion, because positive emotion uplifts us. Positive emotion doesn't weigh us down, it doesn't drain us, but negative emotion does. Another thing we need to be aware of that can hinder our success or our goal is justification. Most of us justify our negative emotions. Most of us justify things that have happened to us. The truth is that if you cannot justify your negativity, you cannot be angry. When you justify your negativity always, all the time, when you justify this thing that happened to me, I would have been this successful if not because of this situation I encountered. If not because of this thing this person did to me, I would have been in another level. We justify these things. Most of us even justify the negative emotions we feel. Maybe you say, because of my child, that is why I'm angry. Or you made me angry, you made me sad. Do you know that the more we justify negativity, the more we justify negative emotion, it draws us away from our goals. It draws us away from achieving our goals. So we must get to this point of consciousness of not justifying negative emotion. That is why I said one of our key role as parents is to take full responsibility for everything that happens around us. Because when we take responsibility, we also take responsibility for our emotions. So you now understand that when I am angry, I am responsible for my anger. I am not angry because my child made me angry. I am not angry because my child spilled water on the floor. I am not angry because my husband or my wife made me angry. I am not angry because the other person's emotion has changed. So we get to this point of taking full responsibility. And when we take full responsibility, we stop to justify our negative emotions. Another thing I want us to be aware of as parents is to refuse to rationalize and make excuses. Most of us make millions and millions of excuses. A lot of times we make excuses why we cannot do this, why we cannot have positive emotion, why we have to be sad, why we have to be angry. We make excuses why we cannot set goals, why we cannot achieve our goals, but we have to get to that point of coming out of making excuses. I'm going to give us an example. Before I came in for this session, this live session, we went for an event, a program, in church. And I checked the time and I was like, oh my God, it's almost time for this live event. I would have come back and maybe just say, oh my God, it's past the time, let's just leave it. But no, there is no room for excuse. We have to get to this point of stepping a bit away from excuse. What you can do it, and not giving excuses why we're not going to set our goals and all that. So if we must be successful, one of the things we need to work against, one of the things we need to look out for is avoid excuses. We must rise above the opinions of others as well. So what are the opinions of other people around you? The people around you, do they even set goals? Do they even understand where you're going as a parent? Do they even understand that, okay, I need to set goals, I have visions for myself? What are the opinions of people around you? What are the opinions of people in your circle? We need to step above the opinions of those people. If the people you're surrounded with have, maybe their opinions are not helpful, their opinions are not doing you any good, you need to check it and work on it, because the people around you, the people in our circle, go a long way on how we achieve our goal, on how we even set our goal, on how we even run with our goals. Now we have to understand, as I said, responsibility is the antidote for everything that happens around us, for our negative emotion. The antidote for negative emotions of all kinds is for us as parents to accept complete responsibility for our situation. We have to get to this point of accepting full responsibility for all situation that happens around us. You cannot say the words I am responsible and still feel angry. When you're responsible, you know that, okay, I cannot be responsible and still be angry. If I am angry because of the other person, that means I'm not being responsible with my emotions. I've given the other person full control of my life. So we need to get to this point of understanding that responsibility is very key for us. Because when we understand responsibility, we understand that setting our goals is also our responsibility. Improving on ourselves is also our responsibility and not the responsibility of any other person. We must step away from blaming others. Most of us blame people. We blame everyone and not blame ourselves. We don't put the searchlight back on us. We blame everyone for why we're not successful. We blame the government. We blame situation. We blame people. We blame everyone. We even blame our children why we act in the way we act. But we forget to look inwards and blame ourselves. So we must step away from blaming others. If we must achieve our goals, if we must set these goals that we are going to work on, stop blaming others. Take full responsibility for your life. Take full responsibility for everything that happens around you. And we must learn to control our emotions. In setting our goals, it's very important for us to control our emotions. We must get to this point of being in charge. Everything still boils down and points at responsibility. Being responsible for our emotions. So as a parent, one of the ways you can be responsible for your emotion is by seeing yourself as a self-employed person. So if you are self-employed, you know you're the master, you're the boss, you're the CEO. So you understand that everything that happens is just like a company, for example. If you're the boss in your place of work or in your organization, you understand that everything that happens as regards the policy, the procedure of my business, I have to put in the work, I have to set everything to ensure everything works out the way it should work out. So if we get to this point of taking responsibility for everything that happens, and we must see ourselves as being self-employed such that no one else can do this thing for us. We are in charge of taking full responsibility of everything that happens around us. Then as a parent, develop your own strategy. What is that thing that works for you? What is that strategy that works for you in setting your goals? What is the best way you set your goals? What is the best way you achieve your goals? Because we all have different strategies, so you know yourself. That is why self-awareness is very good. Self-awareness is very key. You know yourself, you understand yourself, you understand your strengths, you understand your weaknesses. So what works for you? What is that your strategy that works for you? That when you implement your strategy, it will help you to achieve your goal and it will help you to be successful. Key onto your strategy. Now we must make new choices. We must make new decisions. And one of the ways of making new choices is by setting goals. What we are already talking about. Oh, Dr. Jane, thank you, ma, for joining us. One of the ways of making these new choices and new decisions is by setting goals. What we are already talking about. So start to make new choices. Start to make new decisions for your life. And it starts by getting to this point of sitting down. What do you want to achieve? Setting your goals. Being aware of what you want to achieve. And now we must become a growth stock. In this book, the writer said something like, when you have a stock, for example, if you own a company and maybe people buy shares, for example, in your company, you continue to work hard to ensure that these shares continue to be profitable, to ensure that people continue to invest so much in this company. You continue to work hard. So that is how it is with us as parents. Become your own stock. Become a growth stock. What it means to become a growth stock, invest on yourself. Be that person that, okay, you're going to say, I take myself as a project. This year, 2025, I'm going to work on my growth. I'm going to work on myself to the point that I'm going to be so relevant that anyone that comes in contact with me, we want to come back and get more resources. So that is it as a parent. And it starts by we setting these goals. So for me, I recommend one of our goals should be goal of personal development, goal of growth, goal of improving ourselves, goal of becoming better. Because the truth is that when we are better, everyone around us is better. When we are better, the world even becomes a better place. So invest in yourself. Now we must develop, as a parent, we must also learn that we must develop our own locus of control, a large body of, we must work on our locus of control. And the writer was trying to say there are some things we have control over and there are some things we don't have control over. And he made mention of internal locus of control, and he said people with an internal locus of control feel that they are self-directed. So when you have control of yourself within, that is internally, you feel you're self-directed, you're in complete control of your life. You feel strong, you feel confident, you feel powerful, you're generally optimistic and positive. You feel terrified about, when you see that, okay, someone is not in charge of their life, you'll be like, oh, wow, what's happening? So as a parent, we must have full control of everything that happens within us. Don't subject the control and your life to someone else. And the writer also said something about external locus of control. Now, people that have external locus of control are people that allow external factors to affect them. So you allow the emotions of someone to affect you. Anybody can throw their emotions on you, and when they throw their emotions on you, you change. When they throw their emotions of anger, sadness, frustration on you, you become automatically that emotion that they've thrown on you. So when you're not in control of yourself, that means you do not have internal locus of control. When you allow other people to control you, you allow your situation to control you, you allow everything negative, you allow negative emotions to control you, that means you're not in control of your life. And if we must achieve our goal, if we must set our goals, we must get to this point of having full control of ourselves as parents from within. Don't subject your control to anyone. It's our responsibility. We have to take full responsibility for ourselves, and it is in our hands. Goal setting is in your hands. No one will set this goal for you. If you don't set it, it will be like that. Even as a family, as a parent, as a mother, or as a father, you need to sit down and set this goal for your family. Where are you going to? Where are you headed? Why are you even on this planet Earth? Why are you even married? Why do you have children? What are your goals for your children next year? It's in your hands. It's in our hands. We have full responsibility, because when we don't set it, when we don't set these goals, no one will do it for us. And we'll just keep living life that way, which will be a disservice to us. Then the last chapter we are going to study this evening is that we need to clarify our values. Yes. As parents, it's very important for us to clarify what our values are. So what is your value as a parent? What do you believe in? Because the truth is that goal setting starts from value creation. Goal setting start from you getting to this point of realizing, okay, what are my values? What are the things that I believe in? What are those things I hold dear to me? Because if you must set goal, you must come from the point of value. It's your value that will drive and inform the choices you will make as regards your goal. It's your value that will inform what you write as your goals. So what are your values? Do you even have values as a parent? Or do you stand for anything? Do you stand for anything and anybody? A parent or anyone without values is like a city without a wall. So do you have values? What are these values? Are these values clear to you? Are these values clear to your children? Are they clear to everyone that come in contact with you? Are they clear to everyone that comes to your space? So you need to clarify your value, because everything we do as regards setting our goals starts from we even clarifying our values. Now, the writer said something very important. He said there are different 5 levels of personality. He talked about our values. Everything starts from our values. Our values will inform, our beliefs. Our values determine the belief we have about ourselves. The value you have about yourself, okay, for example, you have a value of integrity, love, that value is going to determine your belief as an individual and as a parent. So it's very important we have these values. It can never ever be overemphasized. It's very important we have these values. Our values as parents determine our beliefs about ourselves and the world around us. So for example, if you have positive value like love, compassion, generosity, you will believe that people in the world are deserving of these values. So everything starts from the values. Your value will inform the belief you have around you, about the world, and everyone around you. And your belief in turn determine, your personality, your expectations, the belief you have about yourself, about your children, about the world. We inform what you expect from the world. We inform what you expect from your children. So for example, if you have positive values, you will believe yourself to be a good person, and you will expect good to come out of you. You will expect to perform. You will expect to achieve your goals. So values is very important, because our values inform our beliefs, and our beliefs inform the expectation we have about ourselves and about everyone around us. And also, our expectation informs our attitude as parents. Our attitude will be an outward manifestation and reflection of your values. So when you see people act in a way that you don't even understand, they are just acting out their values. They are acting out what they expect, what they believe in. So values. It can never ever be overemphasized, And after our attitude, our actions, everything we do, the way we act, our actions, the way we relate with people, the way we even deal with goal setting and everything around us happens. Our action is stemmed from our values. So what values as a parent do you have? Everything stems from within, and our values stem from within. So your value is going to inform everything you do as a parent. Your value is even going to inform your goal, because goal setting starts from what you believe. You will set your goals based on what you believe. So as a parent, what do you really want? What kind of life do you want for yourself? What kind of life do I want for myself? What kind of future do we see or do we want for ourselves? What we want, everything, there's nothing limiting us. There is no limitation anywhere. Our limitation is in our thoughts. Our limitation is in our mindset. We limit ourselves so much to the point that limitation becomes our reality. So what do you want as a parent? Do you want to live life without goals? Do you want to live life winging it? Or do you want to live life achieving your goals? So it's in your hands, and you're responsible for that. So begin to sit down, begin to reflect. What are your values? What do you want from life? What are your values about work? What are your values about family? What are your values about relationship? What are your values about every aspect of your life? Begin to reflect upon it, because when you reflect on your values, when you know your values, it's going to inform the goals you will set. So one thing we need to take away from today is that our goals, the goals we set, is going to stem from our values. Then finally, we need to understand that our past is not our future. Most times we blame our past. We say a lot of things. Oh, this thing happened to me 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We limit ourselves because of our experiences. We limit ourselves because of the stories we've told ourselves. We limit ourselves because of the beliefs, our experiences, what we've told ourselves. But the truth is that Our past do not define us. What defines you is the choices you begin to make today. And I'm inviting you to begin to make the right choices. So what are those choices you begin to make? It starts from this point of setting your goals. It starts from this point of understanding and writing out your values, what you believe in. What do you believe in? What are those things that you hold so dear to you? Sit down, write it out, craft your values, because your value is going to inform the choices you make for your goals. Then, in summary, what we remember, what I want to leave us with today is that we must be responsible as parents. We must take full responsibility of our life. Everything that has happened to us from our childhood to our adulthood, it's our responsibility. Don't give out your responsibility to someone else, because no one will do the work for you. Take responsibility of your life. Be in charge of your life. Be the president of your life. Be the CEO of your life. Because when you're the president of your life, when you see yourself as the CEO of your life, you take full charge and full control of every aspect of your life. Take responsibility for setting your goals today. Take responsibility for improving yourself as a parent today, for working on your growth. Take responsibility for everything and every aspect of your life that is important to you. So what would you be doing differently today as a parent? So drop it in the comment section. Tell us one thing you're going to be doing differently. Are you going to craft your values, what you believe in as a parent? Are you going to sit down and take responsibility of your emotions, even understand the emotions you feel per time? Are you going to be setting your goals? What are you going to be doing? So I invite us to work on this journey of our growth, and it starts from this point of responsibility. So we need to even affirm to ourselves that we are responsible for our actions and not the actions of others. I am responsible for my life. You are responsible for your life. We are responsible for our actions and not the actions of others. So when we get to this point, we step up, we work, and start to work on this journey of setting our goals. So I thank you all for joining me for our live session on our book review. We're going to have a quick break and we'll come back for our weekly webinar. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate your time. So just have a quick break and we will be back. Thank you.